What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Elf. The movie is directed by Jon Favreau and written by David Brennenbaum, and this movie follows a man named Buddy who, as a baby, had snuck into Santa's toy sack and got taken to the North Pole with him. He didn't know he was in the bag, and he's ends up being raised by Papa Elf at the North Pole for all of his life. And after many years, he finds out that he's a human, so he goes to New York to meet his real father, and he meets all kinds of different people along the way, and their interactions with Buddy are really what makes the movie. Like, he's just absolutely hilarious, and everything. Will Ferrell plays Buddy, and he's just absolutely perfect in this role. It's one of his best roles, and everything. I think it's probably one of the ones he's gonna be most remembered for. And this was like his first big movie that he did after he left Saturday Night Live, and it's still easily one of my favorites of all time of his. It definitely is in my top 2. I debate between whether I like this one more or Step Brothers more, but I just absolutely love this movie. And the entire cast in here is really great too. James Caan plays his human father, Walter, and he does a really good job too. He fits the role perfectly. He's kind of this grumpy old man that doesn't really like him, and he acts like probably most people would act if they found out they had a son that was raised by Christmas elves. But I thought he was really good in here, and Zooey Deschanel, before she became really big, this was probably the first movie I ever saw her in. Plays Jovi, his girlfriend, and Buddy's girlfriend. I mean, not Walter's. She's really good in here too. And the two of them have really good chemistry and stuff. And she just has this really beautiful singing voice. I love listening to her sing and everything, and that was added into the movies specifically because Jon Favreau had found out that she could sing really good, and I think that the singing and stuff just helps make the movie a little bit better. It kind of helps add that Christmas charm to it, and this movie has a lot of that. Like, there are a lot of Christmas movies that are really good, and then there are some that aren't, but this one really has that Christmas spirit and charm that makes it all that more enjoyable and stuff. And if I'm ever in the mood to watch a Christmas movie, this is always one of the ones that I watch every single year. I've usually multiple times. I'll probably end up watching it again later this year before Christmas, but I just absolutely love Elf. It's such a really great movie, and like I said, all of the cast in here are perfectly cast. Ed Asner as Santa Claus is really great. He fits the role really well. I know he's played Santa a few more times and everything, and other stuff, but he just was great as Santa in this one. And Bob Newhart as Papa Elf is really good too. He's really likable and everything. I kind of wish we could have got to see him a little bit more in the movie, but it makes sense why he wasn't in the movie a lot more too. I mean, because there wasn't a lot that they could really do with him, but he was still really likable, and just all the other characters are really great. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Peter Dinklage plays this book author named Miles Finch, and but he mistakes him for an elf, and Miles Finch beats him up and stuff. That's one of the standout scenes in the movie. Just absolutely hilarious. I think most people, when they think of this movie, that's one of the first scenes they think of. And anytime I see Peter Dinklage, most people would say they recognize him from Game of Thrones, and I love him in that show. He was amazing in it. But every time I see him, the first thing that pops in my mind is Miles Finch from Elf. I just absolutely love that scene. It's just one of the funniest scenes in the movie. And this movie has a lot of hilarious scenes. There are so many parts that are just absolutely hilarious, and like in the toy store when Santa comes in and he pulls off his beard. That scene just absolutely cracks me up, and there's just so many really great moments in this movie. It's just everything about it just screams classic. The day that I saw it for the first time in theaters, I didn't even want to go see it because I actually thought the movie looked pretty dumb and thought it was going to be stupid. But I ended up loving it, and I was like, man, this movie is going to be an instant classic. And it was really the first Christmas movie that ever actually made me excited for Christmas and stuff. Like, this movie just, it was one of the first Christmas movies I ever actually really loved. I mean, I love the Santa Claus movies and stuff, but that came out before it. But this movie was just, it was something special, and I just absolutely love this movie. I like I said, I watch it every year 2 or 3 times, and it's just really great. And John Debney does the score for it, and it has a really catchy score. And I love how like it plays tribute to the Rankin and Bass stuff. Like some of the critters in the North Pole look like stuff from the Rankin and Bass Christmas special, so I thought that was really cool too. And like I said, this just is a really fun movie. It's definitely one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, and if you haven't seen it, I definitely would recommend it, because you're missing out, because this is just a really good movie. And like I said, everybody is great in here, but especially Will Ferrell. This is easily one of his best movies as well, and I just absolutely love it. But let me know in the comments what you think of Elf. Yeah, and everything. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's underrated? Because I know that this is actually one of the Christmas movies that is really popular and everything. I've seen it. I saw it in the theaters twice when it was originally out, and then I've seen it in the theater a few times over the last few years, because the theater I used to live by used to play it every year, and every time I would go see it, it was always packed. So that kind of shows how popular the movie is, because a lot of people won't go to the movies if they can just watch it at home. But that movie, they go, it's always packed every time I've gone to see it. Everything. So I think it's a pretty popular movie. I know some people don't like it and say it's annoying and stuff, and what I don't really understand is, well, Ferrell in this movie has that really bubbly, over-the-top happiness personality, and usually when I'm around people that are like that in real life and stuff, they annoy the heck out of me. But in this movie, I just can't help but love him. He's just so likable and stuff. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Elf, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'd definitely say I'd give this one a 10 out of 10. It's a really great movie. It's a classic, and it's one that I don't celebrate Christmas without watching this movie at least once a year. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
I'm singing! I'm in a store and I'm singing! I'm in a store and I'm singing!
Hey, Santa! Oh my God!
Santa here? I know him! I know him!